Hey, what is up everyone? We have our first true event for Sea of Thieves Season 12 coming up real soon, and in this video I want to talk about it and just explain to y'all what are Gilded Voyages. So Gilded Voyages have been part of the game for a long time. We saw them go away for a bit with the release of Season 11, which changed up how voyages worked in the game, so it removed all the Gilded Voyages that people had stored up for a long time. Now they seem to have basically figured out a new system, probably worth that limited time voyages section that has been in the menu for a while now, where you can basically do these Gilded Voyages during the event. So I know a lot of the newer PlayStation players and maybe just other players that are new to the game may not know what Gilded Voyages are. It's been a while since they've actually released them, and so like players could try them. So in this video I want to cover what these Gilded Voyages are, and what's really cool and special about this upcoming event that is outside of the Gilded Voyages. So essentially a Gilded Voyage is basically a very high tier voyage. There is a Gilded Voyage for each of the different trading companies, so you can basically get a lot of really high value Athena loot, or Gold Hoarder, or Order Souls, or Merchant loot. Every time Gilded Voyages comes into the game, it makes the game a lot of fun. There's lots of high value treasure in the game to get, and it's also one of the fastest way to earn a lot of gold quickly. So coming up soon, between May 16th through the 23rd, all players will be able to access up to 4 new single-use time-limited Gilded Voyages of the Ancient Isles. This is interesting, and the wording is actually very key, I think. So essentially, when they say 4 new single-use time-limited Gilded Voyages, that means one, obviously the time-limited part is self-explanatory, it's between May 16th to the 23rd. The single use is representing each of the different trading companies. So you'll have one Gold Hoarder, one Athena's Fortune if you're a Pirate Legend, one Order of Souls, one Merchant's Alliance, and the main trading companies essentially. I also find it interesting that it's set in the Ancient Isles. So if you're not familiar with the different regions in the game, there's 4 different regions that we have in the main Sea of Thieves world. You have the Wilds, the Ancient Isles, the Shores of Plenty, and the Devil's Roar. So this is something interesting because I think this is meant to bring players together and make it a very high adrenaline type of experience during this Gilded Voyage event. If you're a new player, you should be very careful during this time. The reason why I say that is because since it's saying that it's in the Ancient Isles, that limits the area that the maps will be for. Meaning that if there's players that are trying to go and steal this treasure, they're going to know where to start looking for you. With that said though, I'm going to leave a video linked here that really covers in depth how to protect yourself while on these types of voyages. I would highly recommend watching that before you get into this. I would also recommend, if you really want to get more bang for your buck with this voyage, make sure you have emissaries unlocked for each of the different trading companies. I'll leave another video linked here about emissaries if you want to get into that, but essentially what it does is it gives you a multiplier that can raise the value of the treasure that you have. But with that higher reward comes more risk. However, like I said, you're already going to be at pretty high risk anyways with just the Gilded Voyages being set in the Ancient Isles in general. Most players are probably going to know that that's probably what you're doing, since basically everyone's going to be doing it, and it's kind of like a use it or lose it situation with these Gilded Voyages. So you don't want to just like hold on to it, because after the 23rd you won't be able to do it anymore. So I would recommend just going ahead and taking the risk and using an emissary, because then if you're successful, you get that 2.5 multiplier. I'd also recommend selling often. Don't try to hold on and hoard it all for one big sell. If you do that, you're also more likely to lose it. And if you're a newer player, I'd especially not risking it until you get your skill level up more. So another cool thing that's happening with this event is that if you complete one of these Gilded Voyages, and when I say complete, it's not necessarily talking about selling the treasure, it's really just talking about either digging up all the treasure or fighting skeletons or whatever the voyage is, just completing that aspect of it, regardless whether you can sell it or not, and you'll be able to get the Sea Mark Tribute Tattoo. So what is a Sea Mark Tribute Tattoo? So it's written reference to this character named Sea Mark, and he's pretty buff looking guy, but he has these really cool tattoos all over himself. So you'll be able to get access to this tattoo, and I think it's pretty exciting. I think it would be a cool thing to have in your vanity chest especially if you're a new player. And if you're an experienced player and you've been playing a long time, it's still a really cool looking tattoo, so I would definitely recommend trying to get it. It's not that hard. It doesn't require you to have to be able to sell the treasure or anything. It really just relies on you having the motivation to keep trying to complete the voyage. And usually with these Gilded Voyages, they don't take too long to do. It's usually more of like a high value reward and only a handful of maps. Especially with Season 11, they did a lot of rebalancing with the voyages to make them a bit faster and more rewarding. So it should be a great time, honestly. I would definitely recommend trying to play a little bit during this event. But with that, I hope that gives a good explanation of what these Gilded Voyages are that are coming up in a few weeks. And if you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you like and subscribe, and check out some of these other videos that I have linked here. I think you'd find them interesting. But that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.